does seem like it plays back and forth.
Well, what's interesting is that this building, at least score-wise, falls solidly in the middle of the group.
I agree.
But yet, when you put it in the public building category,
It rises.
it's a high performer there. It's one of the top 3 probably.
It was actually really interesting to see both the hand delineation as well as the computer renders, very dynamically documented, plan sections, elevations, graphic communications were very strong. Really across the board, even when they were asked in delineation courses to graphically convey the same information that they were seeing in a photograph. So I think that there you had a really interesting balance, just pedagogically as well as laying the foundation for, we'll call it, more integrated design as they moved up through the ranks.
So maybe the professionals could learn from the students and use more process drawings in their presentation.
Well,
so an explanation of what underpins the ideas behind their project.
Instead of relying on photographs as much as
done.
done.
It's not maybe just photographs.
And as a jury, there were several projects that did use, in fact, hand sketches and process drawings that all of us were really drawn to because it showed a way of thinking that then helped us understand the complete project.
But even in the big room in the back, it's a large room with kind of odd placements of, and you just don't know if it's second floor views through the wall.
I think the windows are probably more intentional than we might think. It's just hard to sell without really walking through the space.
They certainly don't highlight that as showing us, which could have been a very interesting slide, actually.
I really appreciated the range of projects too, from master planning to small kiosks. The scale and variety of things that they're working on is really encouraging.
Yeah, both students and professionals.
And both student studios as well as self-directed projects from the students.
Yeah, I'm not sure how this year might have compared to prior years in Maryland, but very high participation. We saw lots of projects and a very high quality level for those projects, really across the board. In some categories, it was quite challenging to try to figure out, where that kind of cutoff might be. But I think we just saw good quality.
And I think one of the values, and we've discussed this at length yesterday, is it's not just about the architecture, it's about the program and the leadership. That building and the entire entity and the
Louisville community, the AA Louisville community.
criteria. I think if you were to compare it against the 10, I think it hits 8 strongly of the 10 criteria of AIA. And I would be very strongly advocating for that for an award, as an honor award, but I do think it rises to the Public Building of the Year.
We both spent time around these public building nominees, and then we went into other areas and came back, bringing more conversation and more questions to make sure. We felt really strongly that this was an important, very important decision for us.
It felt like to me that the deliberations yielded a project that had significance, social significance. That we wanted it to actually make a difference in some way. A building that makes a difference,
and
educational
socially
component.
different.
So there was more to it than just the quality of the design features and the components. There was that social aspect of what makes a public building and what makes one outstanding.
What is the role of architecture in helping to be an instigator or a provocateur for maintaining that characteristic in the community? And in some cases it meant looking deeper into the project to see what the value was before, if it was an existing building, or what the value of it will be if it was a new building. And so those debates actually wove through every aspect of our discussion.
It was actually the hardest, and I think we spent the most time on that section of any of it.
Which
we
does
had
seem
to
appropriate.
re-examine what an icon in the community is. Like we had to essentially redefine what does it mean to be an icon or an institution within the community.
For those that are looking to give their information to the jury is to make sure that they do, in fact, as Greg had previously mentioned, follow the criteria. they're established for judging. And particularly, we had quite a few conversations about sustainability, and sustainability is a part of the judging criteria. And some projects, they made it very clear as to how their projects were meeting the sustainability requests or requirements that are part of that criteria. And others really didn't touch on it at all. And they may have had, sustainable projects, but it was very hard to judge those simply because we didn't have anything concrete to go by.
And there are just 3 primary categories, and sustainability is one of them.
It was
So-
one-third of the
So if it's not obvious and you can't find that, it really does diminish the score.
When you have a category that could be awarded by this jury for unbuilt projects, and Mike, as you said, a majority of the student projects are going to be unbuilt. So where can you push those boundaries and really find innovation that's really at the root of what the students are investigating? I think that's really fantastic, and that should be celebrated in our classrooms
And encouraged.
and encouraged.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just want to say congratulations to AIA Maryland. We really enjoyed as a jury taking a look at your projects. Some really great work, and congratulations to the winners.